A Roman soldier feared the enemy. But what truly terrified him was punishment. Because death was fast. Punishment lasted longer. In the Roman Empire, fear was not a side effect of war. It was part of the system. Rome did not build its power on courage or inspiring speeches. It built it on consequences. A legionary could survive battle after battle. He could grow used to noise, chaos, and violence. But he could not survive losing trust inside his own formation. Roman commanders understood a simple and brutal truth about human nature. Fear of pain fades with time. Fear of death can be drowned out in the chaos of combat. But fear of shame, fear of isolation, fear of becoming an outcast inside a closed group never disappears. That is what Rome built its army around. Every Roman soldier lived under constant observation. He ate with the same men every day. Slept beside them. Marched beside them. There was no privacy in a legion. Mistakes were visible. Hesitation was noticed. Weakness spread fast. And weakness was dangerous. Roman warfare depended on formation. Shields locked together. Movements synchronized. Pressure always forward. One soldier breaking discipline did not endanger only himself. He endangered everyone around him. That is why punishment in the Roman army was never personal. It was systemic. Rome did not ask whether a soldier meant to fail. Rome asked only one thing. Did he fail? Punishment was predictable. Not emotional. Not chaotic. Predictable fear is stronger than disorder. When punishment is uncertain, soldiers take risks. When punishment is inevitable, soldiers obey. Many Roman punishments were simple. And that is why they were effective. A flogging carried out in front of the entire unit was not meant to kill. Not even to cripple. It was meant to humiliate. The pain faded. The memory did not. The soldier continued to serve. Continued to fight. But he now knew his place in the hierarchy. Another weapon was demotion. Loss of rank. Loss of pay. Loss of status. Formally, the man was still a soldier. In reality, he became second class. Watched. Judged. No longer treated as equal. In an army built on honor, this kind of punishment destroyed slowly and reliably. Sometimes punishment was quieter. A soldier could lose his share of the spoils. No beating. No public humiliation. He was simply excluded from the future. He watched others receive rewards. Celebrate. Plan their lives after the campaign. And he stood there with nothing. It did not break him instantly. It hollowed him out. Mistakes could also mean more labor. Not heroic work. Not honorable tasks. Digging trenches. Repairing roads. Carrying extra weight. In heat. In cold. In front of everyone. Punishment turned a warrior into a tool. And everyone saw what failure turned you into. Sometimes a soldier was simply transferred to a less respected unit. A formation with a bad reputation. A place where men died more often. Officially, it was just an order. Unofficially, it was a mark. You were not punished. You were expendable. Rome could also strip a soldier of part of his equipment. Not everything. Just enough. A missing shield. Inferior armor. The man stood in formation knowing he was less protected than the rest. Nothing was announced. Nothing needed to be said. Everyone saw it. Everyone remembered it. And sometimes the most severe punishment was never spoken. A soldier simply stopped being one of us. No help. No cover. No one stepping in. Formally, he remained in the ranks. In reality, he stood alone. In battle, that mattered. Above all punishments stood one. Spoken about quietly. Without details. Without jokes. Decimation. Decimation was used when a unit showed cowardice, mutiny, or mass disobedience. 1 man out of 10 was chosen by lot. Not for personal guilt, but because the group failed to control itself. The randomness was deliberate. It destroyed the illusion that innocence guaranteed safety. Survival depended not only on you, but on the men beside you. Those chosen were not executed by officers. They were killed by their own comrades. With clubs or stones. Publicly. The message required no explanation. Failure turns brothers into executioners. And punishment did not end there. The survivors were stripped of dignity. Rations reduced. Equipment downgraded. They slept outside the fortified camp. Every day reminded them that mercy had limits. Rome understood something terrifyingly effective. Fear imposed from above has limits. Fear imposed by peers does not. You can hide from authority. You cannot hide from the men who sleep beside you. That is why Roman soldiers feared punishment more than death. Death ended responsibility. Punishment extended it. A punished soldier stayed alive inside the system, without protection, without respect, without trust. And protection mattered. In battle, formation protected those who held the line. The weak were protected differently. Not openly. Not officially. A shield moved slower. The line closed later. Accidents happened. Rome did not need explanations. Everyone understood. Over time, punishment reshaped behavior even outside combat. In camp, soldiers watched each other. Corrected each other. Controlled each other. Discipline no longer required constant oversight. It became internal. A Roman soldier woke up each morning not asking how to be brave, but asking how not to fail. That was the true strength of the Roman army. Not the absence of fear, but its direction. Fear of shame replaced fear of pain. Fear of isolation replaced fear of death. Rome did not eliminate fear. It turned fear into a weapon. Other armies relied on inspiration. On promises. On heroism. Rome relied on structure. And structure outlives emotion. Emotions fade. Systems remain. That made Roman soldiers predictable under pressure. And predictability wins wars. The Roman army was unstoppable not because its soldiers were stronger, but because breaking was more frightening than standing firm. That is the warrior's mindset. Not the absence of fear, but understanding which fear matters most.